80-year-old Khaleda Zia, Bangladesh's first woman prime minister, died today after a prolonged illness. Her death comes at a time even as her son Tarique Rahman, who was in exile for over 17 years, returned to Dhaka as the acting chairman of Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Khaleda Zia had been suffering from multiple age-related ailments, including advanced cirrhosis of liver, arthritis, diabetes, and complications related to her chest and heart. This, according to doctors. Prime Minister Modi expressed condolences and said Khaleda Zia will be remembered for her contributions towards development of Bangladesh as well as India-Bangladesh relations. Former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina also expressed condolences over Khaleda Zia's demise. Zia had been undergoing treatment at Dhaka's Evercare Hospital since November 23rd and on December 11th when she was placed on ventilator support. Just 2 days ago, her personal physician had confirmed that the former Prime Minister was in an extremely critical condition. In a Facebook post, BNP said that doctors declared the former Prime Minister dead at around 6 in the morning. According to BNP, Khaleda's condition had deteriorated since late Monday night. A special aircraft from Qatar had been kept on standby to airlift her to London for further treatment, but a medical board did not grant clearance for her transfer from Evercare Hospital to Dhaka Airport. Khaleda Zia was Prime Minister of Bangladesh from 1991 to 1996 and returned to office from 2001 to 2006. She was the country's first woman Prime Minister. Khaleda was the widow of Ziaur Rahman, the former president of Bangladesh and an army commander. She is survived by her elder son Tarique, his wife and their daughter. Notably, Tarique Rahman returned to Bangladesh on the 25th of December after spending 17 years in exile.
You see, I'm now standing in front of the hospital where former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia had been taking a treatment. Just look behind me. This is the hospital, the white building. And already huge number of people gathered here due to safety and security. Huge number of members of law enforcement have been deployed here. And even vehicular movement has been controlled here from both sides so that the rush can be controlled. Actually, Begum Khaleda Zia was not only so much popular to her political party, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, but also to the whole countrymen, because you know that Bangladesh had experienced just 1 year back, 16-year-long authoritarian ruling that the protesters labeled as fascist ruling. And during that time, Khaleda Zia was in jail. And reportedly, she was offered many times to leave the country and go exile permanently. But Begum Khaleda Zia refused to leave the country. And even she took treatment here in this country. And due to old age complications and different mental and physical torturing in jail, she was actually physically exhausted, and the final consequence is her death now. So people are so much shocked, especially this death is a significant incident in the history of Bangladesh's politics because the country is now waiting for a national election to be held in February next year. And people were waiting for a participatory and inclusive election that the people were deprived of for the last 16 years during Sheikh Hasina ruling when the election system was totally collapsed and everywhere there were irregularities and mismanagement and even ballot stuffing on the previous night and intimidation. So people were waiting for a participatory election at that time. The death of Begum Khaleda Zia is a great vacuum in the political field of this country.
Her son's coming up back after 17, 18 years back to Bangladesh politics. I must say that his timing is perfect. He's just arrived when things were hotting up in Bangladesh. And her mother was, of course, ill. But now that she has passed away, the baton or the responsibility has to pass on to somebody. So to that extent, his timing is perfect. And I think he is likely to be the nominated successor of the party and as such of the political process.
Definitely a tragic news to hear. I mean, Khaleda Zia would be, among a breed of leaders who were there in the past century, in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s now, who are now, passing away. So it's definitely unfortunate news, the passing of any any person and a leader, definitely yes. So our sympathies are with the family and the people of Bangladesh. That's one. But yes, given the cold reality, if we were to look at Bangladesh where it is right now, the political environment, I do think that this would, politically speaking, help the BNP party and her son, because typically in such scenarios one can assume some kind of a emotional support or emotional wave in favor of the party concerned. So it would. I mean, it's unfortunate to be making such an analysis right now, a very cold analysis, but it's a fact of life. So politically, I do think that it will help the BNP party and specifically, of course, the son when he'll be campaigning because there will be emotional support in favor of the party.
The much-loved and people's favourite Begum Khaleda Zia, who unfortunately is no more, she died at the age of 80, but in an already unstable Bangladesh. What are the key implications after her death? Well, this suddenly paves the way for her son, Tarique Rahman, who's been elevated. Remember, he's the acting chief of the BNP right now. And after 17 years of exile, on the 25th of December is when he came back to Dhaka. This also closes Bangladesh's most dominant political chapter. She was much loved and, of course, people's favorite. But the fact that she is now no more also brings an emotional wave towards the BNP. India may hope for closer ties with Tarique Rahman, even as India is watching every step of what is happening in Bangladesh very closely. Again, it is Tarique Rahman, her son, who is the acting chief of BNP, and while it is close to polls in February this year, India watching all the steps very closely. This also may position BNP as a top contender for power in the February polls. This as Khaleda Zia's death has paved the way for her son and people looking for the next option, an emotional wave also swaying the party's way. This also leaves Sheikh Hasina as the tallest figure in Bangladesh's politics. Now, what may happen in the February elections, of course, we are tracking very closely. But yes, Khaleda Zia's son, who is now a top contender and certainly paving the way for the BNP.